Good morning, everybody. Welcome you to the session on SPSS, the fundamental concepts. I just click on SPSS 23 version. It gets open, and this is a first screen you get. It asks you whether you want to work with a new data set or you want to open the already existing file. Since I don't have any other file, I click on new data set and I click OK. You'll get this screen, the working screen of SPSS. It's got many menu items: file, edit, view, data, transform, analyze, and such other things. And of course, analyze, transform, data, and file are the most used menus in SPSS. If you come to the bottommost portion left side, you see two items: data view and variable view. And this is a scroll bar where you can scroll the horizontal and vertical bars. And these two windows have got two different purposes. This variable view is used to define the variables you need to create for your analysis, data analysis. And data view is meant for entering your data into the variables what you have already created. For example, I have done a study. I have collected data from students or faculty members or research scholars or customers or consumers or some traders or some organizations, whatever it may be. I collected some data in the form of questionnaire or in the form of an interview schedule, something like that. I have data with me. So before I start entering data, I need to define the data. I should tell the system what are the variables, what are the questions I asked, and what are the options for the question. What is the kind of data is this? All those things I should define here. So I click on variable view. I'm just going to create 2 or 3 variables just for example. First one, I want to create question number 1. Okay, there I would like to type the name of the participant. So if you give a click on type, it's got 8 different kinds of variable types. I'm going to write the name of the candidate. So I select string. String is a variable type where you can type characters up to 250. Give OK. And width and decimals not required. And label, I type name of the participant. Fine. That's it. Let's go to second question. Question number 2, wherein I am typing maybe is age. So age can be, and age is numeric. So I select numeric. And there's no need for decimal point for age, and maximum age can have 2 to 3 digits. Fine. So label can be age of the participant, age, simply age. So whatever you type here, that will be reflected in the output table, the result table. Then question 3, I will type mark score. Okay, numeric. It may be in decimals or need not be also. You can just leave it blank. Label, you can type mark score. Mark score, and second one is age. Fine. And if you come to the last but one column, it says measure. It says what kind of data you are entering, whether you are entering ordinal data or nominal data or a scale data, which you already know about it. Age is a scale data, and Morse code is also a scale data, but name of the candidate is a nominal data. So I just created 3 variables. I defined their size, I've given a name for them, and I have decided what about their measure data type. So my questionnaire layout is ready. Now I am going to type the data. To type the data, to enter the data, you go to data view. See question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. And here, number 1 stands for first questionnaire. Number 2 stands for second questionnaire, second respondent, third respondent. It goes this way. So, name of the respondent, I type Ram. His age is 34, and mark his score was 55. And second one, Vetan. His age is 24, and he got 76 marks, 66 marks. And this way you can enter the data. This is one kind of having data in SPSS. The other way is, if you have already typed the data in Excel sheet, we can import all the Excel data into SPSS. To do so, go to File, Open, Data. It asks what kind of file you want to open. Here under Files of Type, you choose Excel. Then you go to a place where you have kept your Excel file. For example, I have a file here, SPSS online course, their final data, then SPSS class. I have one Excel file. I open the file. I click open. It reads the Excel data file. I give OK. And you can see here whatever data I typed over in the Excel sheet that has come in the SPSS. So this way you can import the data from not only Excel, from a good number of files which are supported by SPSS. For example, you can import data from SAS software, Excel, and many such kind of data you can open in SPSS. So you have data now. So once you created the variables, once you got some data, you need to save your file. So go to File, Save. Here by default, the file will be saved as .sav file, the file extension of SPSS. So I give a name, working. So I decide the folder where I want my file to be displayed. Fine, and save. You can see here the name of the file is changed. Now I have got a file. So based on the questionnaire, I created the variables. Then either I directly enter the data or I downloaded or imported the data from Excel sheet. Now let us see what kind of things we can do in this particular data set. As I told you, here few options are there. For example, you have got 10 respondents. If you want to add one more respondent in between, you can give a click, left click, and give a single right click, insert cases. So in between 5 and 7, a new case is insert, new respondent. You can enter marks scored by him and marks scored by him. You can insert a case. If you want to insert a new variables, you can do here. Okay, single left click, then single right click. You can say insert variable. So new variable is inserted. So this way you can insert the variable. You can insert cases. Fine. And if you come to edit option, go to case, go to variable. Suppose you have collected data from some thousands of respondents, 500, 600 respondents. If you want to go to a particular respondent, you click go to case. For example, I want to go to case number 6. Just 6. Then click go. You'll be exactly under 6th case. You can see here, you have come to 6th case. Or if you want to go to a particular variable, when you have got more than 30, 40 variables in SPSS, you may not be able to see all the variables. So give a click on variable, and variable, if you click a downward arrow, all the variables will be listed. If you select any variable you like to see, for example, I want to see marks to variable, go, that particular variable will be selected. So this way you can go to any case, you can go to any variable. Fine. Then apart from that, the one thing which you should know is here the view option, two options are there. If you click value label is here, no? If you click here, either you can see the number or you can see what exactly they mean. View. Okay, let me remove this. To remove the unnecessary variable, single left click, single right click, you can say clear. This will be removed off. Then you can go for view, value label. Okay. Before doing so, you have to define the variables. In the variable section, you can see nothing, no value is there. So gender, because it's an imported file, it is not having any inbuilt description of variables. So I have come to variable view and I type gender, and this is marks, and this is again marks. Fine, marks 1 maybe. And values, gender doesn't have any value. Of course, I'm sorry. Gender, if you go to 1, can be taken as a male, and 2 is female. So I define, so that I need to type male, female every time. I give a value here. If I type 1, SPSS will consider this as male, and if I type 2, SPSS will take it as female. So I have given value for gender. Marks, of course, whatever I type, it is going to come, so no need for defining the values for marks. Now let me go to data view. You can see now it's a difference here. Click a view. You can see the numbers. Again, if you go on the click view button, you will see the corresponding values, 1 for male, 2 for females. So this way you can create the data. You can go to various cases, you can select the cases, and you can see the values and all. Now, let me see 1 or 2 more things before we proceed. Suppose if you want to close the file and start again, go to file, okay, save. Since you have made some changes, you just give a save button, go to file, then click exit. So it asks whether you want to close it, and this is the output screen. So whatever you do, the corresponding outputs will be displayed in a separate window called SPSS statistics viewer output window. I don't want to save any of these outputs, so I click no. It asks whether you want to save changes for the data which I have created this particular file. I'll say no, I have come out. Fine. Now some old files are there, just to close those files before I start fresh one. And here I want to open the file which I opened already. So file, open, open data. So I have to go to my folder, desktop, SPSS online course, then final data working. So open the data what you have got, it is available now. You can that if you come down, you can see 2 files. One is working.sav. There is something called output window. So whatever analysis you want to conduct, you will conduct it here, and the result will be available in the output window. So I think it's clear now. Either open the SPSS, you type the data, or download the data from Excel sheet. And after getting into Excel sheet, you go to variable view, you define all the values, and you set the data ready. Then open data view, you type the data or copy and paste here, no problem. Now data is ready for analysis. Now let us start with simple analysis called, let us go to analyze descriptive statistics. There you go to frequencies. Under frequencies, I want to create frequencies for all the 3. You can select one by one, single left click, click this arrow. Now the selected variables will be available in the variables box. Control A, if you, after clicking a single variable, if you press Control A, all the variables will be selected. Again, click this arrow, then all the variables have come to variables box. So now I have done anything. I just click OK. You can see the result in the output window where they say that statistics gender 11, marks 11, mark 2 11. There are 11 items. And they say male 5, female 6 as far as gender is concerned. And marks, mark 1, mark 2. And how many frequencies are there for each kind of marks? The simple frequency. So I went to analyze descriptive statistics. I went to frequencies. For example, if you want to calculate mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, and such kind of descriptive statistics measures for these variables, then what you can do is that for gender, you may not calculate all those things because it's a nominal data. Marks and marks 1, they are all scale data, numeric data. We can conduct all these kinds of tests. Click on statistics. You select, suppose I want mean, I want median, I want mode, I want sum, I want minimum, maximum, standard deviation. So whatever you want, you can select all the options. Give continue and give OK. And you get the reply over here. It says mean for mark 1, mean is 53, median is 44, mode is 44, standard deviation is 27.309. minimum 11 marks, maximum 99 marks, and sum is 583. The same statistical thing measures for marks, one of those available, followed by frequency tables. So you can calculate simple statistics required for these two options. Fine. Suppose if you want to create a small chart like thing for these data, you can go to analyze, descriptives, frequency. For example, I got, for example, gender. For gender variable, I want to create a chart. So you select this particular variable. Okay. If you want to remove the variables, select the variable, click this arrow, it will come to the list box. I want to create a chart for gender. Click on gender, go to chart. Suppose I want to create maybe bar charts. You continue, click OK. You will see the bar chart created for the gender. This we can create charts for these kinds of data too. Fine. So now, for example, in the basic analysis, let me go to the working video. Here, I want to do 3 more things. For example, I want to split my analysis. Whatever analysis I want to conduct, I want the SPSS to give separate statistical output for 2 different categories. For example, I got 2 different categories called male and female. I want to find out mean value or standard deviation value or total, whatever it may be, for male separately and female separately. So I want to split the file and do the analysis. To do so, please come to data. In data, there is an option called split file. The bottommost, click split file. And here you select organize output by groups. You give a click on this box and then select the variable gender and click this particular arrow to bring gender to the measuring box. Give OK. Now what happens is that it says that sort split file by gender. Now whatever data analysis I want to conduct and I conduct, and all analysis will be splitted into 2 groups, male and female. For example, I get mark 1, I send to the variable box, I go to statistics, I select all these options, give continue, I give OK, and you can see here the marks are not, the statistical results are given under 2 different headings now. First is gender. For gender, they are given all the mean, median, all those things, marks, everything. Then comes female. For female, they have given all the statistical measures, frequencies, and bar chart. So this way also, you can split the file and you can do all the analysis. Once you have splitted the file will be in the memory. So if you don't want to split the file, go to data, come to split file, and you can select the variable, send it to the box, and then click on analyze all cases, do not create groups. You can see now split file off, messages come. Now you will get normal results for your data. This is one thing. And secondly, suppose a lot of things in the output. If you don't want all these things, you can just Control A and press delete button. The output screen becomes empty now. Let me go to the working file. I would like to do 2 more things before we wind up this particular session. And one is transform. There is a command for transform. For example, 2 marks are there. You want to add 2 marks and you want to place them in a new variable. Okay. Or you want to add all the marks, you want to find out the percentage. When you want to do such kind of computations, you can do all those computations in SPS itself. To do so, go to analyze. Many options are there. But let us first go to transform. In transform, compute variable. You click on compute variable. You'll get this screen. Here you can do all kinds of mathematical operations, division, addition, subtractions, all those things. Apart from that, let's go to around 180 functions are there, mathematical functions are there, you can make use of it. Let me try a small one. In the target variable, you click total because I want to combine mark 1 and mark 2 to get total marks. Now, I select first variable marks. I click this arrow. The marks 1 has come to the numerical expression box. Then I select plus symbol from this numerical pad. And then I select second variable. I click this arrow. Now both the variables have come. I have requested SPSS to add both the variables. And the new variable will be created under the title total. I just give OK. See, it is the output window. Let me go to the working table. You can see here automatically a new variable is created by totaling marks 1 and marks 2. This way you can calculate the total. Suppose if you want to calculate the percentage, then also you can do, for example, go to transform, go to compute variable. Here mark 1 and mark 2. Now I am going to create a target variable called percentage. This, let me close the previous numeric expression. I am going to calculate a new variable by name percentage. I am going to calculate, I take the total of both marks 1 marks 2 divided by 200. For 200, how many marks are scored by students? Put them in the brackets. Then out of 100, because I want a percentage, percentage, fine. You click on OK, close the output. You can see here another variable called percentage is automatically calculated by applying the formula whatever given. So this way you can do all kinds of calculations directly on SPSS. Fine. And last one, sometimes what happens is that you have got some data like this, some category data like this. Now you want to categorize this data into some groups. For example, those who got up to 50, they are grade 1. Those who got 50 to 75, grade 2. And those who got more than 75, they are third grade. Something like you want to give some classification, good, bad, a very good, good, excellent, something like that. So what you can do is that you can recode the data. For example, you collected age of the respondents. They give the answer like 34, 35, 27, 47, 46. Now you want to group the ages. For example, those who are falling between 20 to 35, 36 to 46, 47 to 50, more than 50. So when you want to divide your entire variable into a set of groups, you can go for a recoding option. Let me tell you how we can do recoding for the variable percentage here. For example, I want to decide those who are getting less than 50, I will give them third grade. Those who are getting more than 50, less than 75, we will give them second grade. And those who are getting more than 75, I will give them third grade. This is what I want. To do so, what I can do is that here, go to transform. In transform, recode into different variables. Recode into different variables. Because I am going to create a new variable based on that variable which I have already. So recode into different variable. Here, the screen, you select the variable, which variable you are going to analyze. I'm going to analyze percentage because only based on percentage, we are going to allocate the grade to students. I select percentage, click on this arrow, this has come here. Now I want to give a name for the new variable, grade variable. I just give grade, the name, label also I just give grade, fine. Change, you can see here, now it is changed. Question mark is changed into grade. Now, I want to tell the computer what is the range of the marks. Click on old and new values. And here, I just click range lowest to true. That means up to 50, 0 to, let the lowest mark be anything. Lowest mark up to 50, I want to give value 3, third grade. And then click OK. Okay, add is clicked. Now, click on range and say those who scored 51 to 75, they'll be getting second grade. So in the value, type 2 and click on add. And those who got more than 75, range value through highest. You select this, you can select 76. So 76 onwards, you can give grade 1, then add. Click on continue and click OK. Close the output box. You can see here grade is automatically calculated, and you can see 82.50 first grade, 66 second grade, 49.50 third grade, and this way you can recode the variables. Once you have done all these things, what you can do is that you can do two things. As I told you, whatever you analyze, you do. For example, you are doing analysis called descriptive statistics, frequencies. You want to create frequencies for the grade. You click and you get the result like this. That means 2 students have got grade 1, 6 students got grade 2, and 3 students got grade 3. This is the output window. Now I want to save this output. So go to file, okay, save. It will ask you, give a name. You can give name for the file. It will be saved as .spv file, the file which can be seen. Sometimes if you want to send the entire output to Excel data, click on file, click on export, and here you can type or you can choose the file type, whether you want Excel or you want HTML or you want PowerPoint, you want a TXT file, you want a DOC file, in what format you want the output to be stored. I select Excel because it's very easy to work with, and it asks for the name. I'm just give a name for the file. Okay, something like KKKK. I just give a name for the file. Fine, and I say OK. Now the entire output is exported into an Excel file, which will be saved and stored in my desktop. Fine. You can see now the Excel file is stored in desktop. If I click the Excel file and whatever result I got in SPSS, all the files and graphs, everything are available in this Excel sheet. Now let me go to my SPSS file, working file. And in the file, I have made some changes, total, percentage, grade. I want to save the file. Go to file and go to save. So saving file is a must. You have to save your working file. Output file, if you want, you can save the output file. If you don't want also, what you can do is, for example, you want just this table, select the single, give a single left click, the table selector, give a right click, copy, and go to any file, maybe Word file, something like that. Control V, the file is pasted. So the output can be either selected and pasted, or it can be saved as a SPSS file, or it can be exported and saved as an Excel file. So the options. And these are the few fundamentals about SPSS I would like to introduce in this first session. So we have seen in this session how an SPSS screen looks like, how to create variables for the questionnaire, how to enter data, and how to decide about its various components like name, type, labels, values, and all. And I told you how to enter data, how to import data from Excel, and how to go to a particular case, how to go to a particular variable, how to insert a case, how to insert a variable. And if you want to save this particular file, or if you want to save the output file, how to save it, how to split and do the analysis, how to do all the descriptive analysis in SPSS by going through analyze, descriptive, frequencies menu, and how to calculate splitted analysis of your file concern, and how to do transform compute for the purpose of computing a new variable, or how to do recode into different variable options. So all these things you have seen. I think it's clear to you, and you will try these things, and we'll see you in the next class. Thanks so much.